Hey everyone, James Azar here with CyberHub Engage for your daily cyber briefing. Unfortunately, I had to travel today, so I can't be live with you on YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow with so much more, but let's get into your daily cyber briefing and the most pressing cyber news for today. It is Wednesday, January 29th, and the first month of the year. We're rounding this corner, folks. It's hump day, we're getting ready, and here are some of the headlines. Wawa card breach may rank as one of the biggest of all times. The SEC publishes cybersecurity practices of the financial industry. UK medical product manufacturer shuts plant down following a breach. And a Magento 2.3.4 fixes critical code execution vulnerabilities. And now for your daily cyber briefing, brought to you by our friends at CyberHub USA. Go to cyberhubusa.co for all your services, including your virtual CISO services, auditing, and cyber program developments, and so much more. Go to cyberhubusa.co to engage with them. And now let's get into today's stories. On Monday, hackers put up for sale the payment card details of more than 30 million Americans and over 1 million foreigners on JokerStash, the internet's largest carding fraud forum. The new card dump was advertised under the name Big Bad Boom 3. However, according to experts at the threat intelligence firm Gemini Advisory, the card data was traced back to Wawa, a U.S. East Coast convenience store chain. A month before, in 2019, Wawa disclosed a major security breach, during which the company admitted the hackers planted malware on its point-of-sale systems. Wawa said the malware collected card details for all customers who use credit or debit cards to buy goods at any of their convenience stores and gas station. The company said the breach impacted all of its 860 convenience retail stores, of which 600 also doubled as gas station. According to Wawa, at the time, the malware operated without being detected for months, between March 4th and December 12th, when it was finally removed from the company's systems. The prolonged infection period, along with the massive compromise of hundreds of different locations, appeared to have allowed the criminal group behind the hack to amass a huge trove of payment card details. According to Gemini Advisory, in a statement, they said since the breach may have affected over 850 stores and potentially exposed 30 million sets of payment records, it ranks among the largest payment card data breach of 2019 and of all times. It is comparable to Home Depot's 2014, exposing 50 million customers' data, or Target's 2013 breach, exposing 40 million sets of payment card data. Gemini Advisory says that after analyzing the data, the Wawa card dump appears to include 30 million U.S. records across more than 40 states, as well as over 1 million non-U.S. records for more than 100 different countries who may have used a Wawa gas station or convenience store during their time in the U.S. In a press release published today after Gemini Advisory published its report, Wawa said it became aware that customer card data was now being offered for sale online. The company didn't contest the accuracy of the Gemini Advisory report, effectively confirming that this week's JokerStash card dump came from its systems. We have alerted our payment card processors, payment card brands, and card issuers to heighten fraud monitoring activities to help further protect any customer information. Wawa also said, adding that it will continue to work with law enforcement to investigate the hack. The store chain also said the only payment card information was involved and that no debit card PIN numbers, credit card CVV numbers, or other personal information was involved. However, according to a sample of the Wawa card dump obtained, the card dump did include CVV2 numbers, despite the Wawa's claims. Gemini experts say the JokerStash team is currently selling the details of U.S. issued cards for $17 a card on average, with data for international cards priced at a lot higher price of $210 a card. The Wawa breach aligns with JokerStash's tactic of adding records stolen from large merchants and publicly disclosed major breaches only after the breach is announced. JokerStash uses the media coverage of major breaches such as these to bolster the credibility of their shop and their position as the most notorious vendor of compromised payment cards. Yes, that is happening, folks. To another story where the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, has published a 10-page document detailing cybersecurity practices observed to be in use in the financial industry. The observations were gathered by the SEC's Office of Compliance Inspection and are based on thousands of examinations of broker-dealers, investment advisors, clearing agencies, national securities exchanges, and other SEC registrants. The OCIE issued the examination observation yesterday on the SEC website with the hopes of providing firms with guidelines on how to strengthen their cybersecurity. The observation highlights certain approaches taken by market participants in the area of governance and risk management, access rights and controls, data loss prevention, mobile security, incident response and resiliency, vendor management, training and awareness. They also examine how companies have responded with resiliency in the wake of a cybersecurity incident. While acknowledging that there is no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to cybersecurity, the OCIE recommended establishing an incident response plan and contacting local authorities or the Federal Bureau of Investigation if an attack or compromise is discovered or suspected. Training employees on how to detect threats was advised, along with implementing a mobile device management solution for the workplace that covered all devices used by employees, even those under a bring your own device policy. Through risk-targeted examinations in all 5 examination program areas, OCIE has observed a number of practices used to manage and combat cyber risk and to build operational resiliency. Thus, according to Peter Driscoll, the director of the OCIE, he continues to say in a statement, "We felt it was critical to share these observations in order to allow organizations the opportunity to reflect on their own cybersecurity practices. To prevent data loss, the OCIE recommends establishing a patch management program covering all software and hardware and verifying the decommissioning and disposal of any hardware and software does not create any system vulnerabilities." SEC Chairman Jay Clayton said, "Data systems are critical to the functioning of our markets, and cybersecurity and resiliency are at the core of OCIE's inspection efforts. I commend OCIE for compiling and sharing these observations with the industry and the public, and encourage market participants to incorporate this information into their cybersecurity assessments." This is just the beginning of the SEC starting to clamp down in terms of its cybersecurity auditing and soon to be SEC regulation on cybersecurity for all market participants. They're just laying the groundwork, the precedent, giving people the opportunity to start adhering to best practices in the marketplace. Before we continue, we are 1 week away from Dallas, folks. Our live podcast on February 4th in Dallas, thanks to our host Armor, our sponsor Remediate. We'll be there with Mark Hopt, the CISO at DataBank, Patrick Benoit, the BISO at CBRE, joining me on a great 2-panel conversation, a lot of Q&A with you folks in audience. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, go now to Eventbrite and get your free ticket now, or go to CyberHub Engage and register there as well. I look forward to meeting all of you in Dallas. So excited. And the next day we'll be having our private CISO roundtable. So if you're a CISO and you want to join us, feel free to reach out to me directly on Twitter, LinkedIn, or any one of your favorite social media platforms, or go to cyberhubengage.com and apply there. To another story, a British company that specializes in making skin, bone, and organ grafts has temporarily closed its manufacturing plant in the U.S. following a cybersecurity breach. Regenerative medical technology company Tissue Regenix Group plc said on Tuesday that its computer system and a third-party IT service provider in the United States were accessed without authorization. No details were given on how the incident occurred or when the company became aware that it had been compromised. Tissue Regenix responded to the cybersecurity incident by taking the affected systems offline and shutting down operation at its plant in Texas. The company has appointed a forensic cybersecurity specialist to investigate how and when the breach occurred and said it is in talks with the relevant legal authorities. The cybersecurity incident is not believed to have affected any of the Tissue Regenix operations in the UK and is not thought to have impacted the company's financial systems. A Tissue Regenix spokesperson said Tissue Regenix has taken precautionary steps, including taking affected systems offline. This has restricted access to certain business operations, including the company's ability in the short term to continue manufacturing in its United States facility, which has been taken offline while the incident is being investigated. The company is engaged with its third-party IT service provider, the relevant legal authorities, and cybersecurity experts to rectify the incident as quickly as possible and minimize any impact on its operation. The time required to resolve the incident is currently unknown. According to Reuters, news of the breach caused the share price of Tissue Regenex to tumble by as much as 22%. Whew, short that stock, boy. Tissue Regenex was formed in 2016 as an offshoot of the University of Leeds. The company is based in the historical city of York. Tissue Regenex set up its base in America in the tail end of 2012. The medical technology product that Tissue Regenex is known for producing is a kind of tissue that can be used to repair worn out or diseased human body parts. The tissue has been designed in such a way that the patient's body is unlikely to reject a graft. The cyber attack has come at a particularly bad time for Tissue Regenex, which said last Wednesday that its funding is not guaranteed beyond April. This might be the final nail on their coffin, or might be their savior if they had the right insurance in place. Either way, their manufacturing is shut down in Texas due to this, and this is under investigation. And for our final story of the day, Magento today updated its e-commerce software for all supported platforms with fixes for multiple vulnerabilities. Some of them have critical severity, and hackers could exploit them to run arbitrary code. The security bug affects Magento 2.3.3 or 2.2.10 and below, open source 2.3.3-2.2.10 and below, enterprise edition 1.14.4.3 and earlier, and community edition 1.9.4.3 and earlier. New releases are now available for each and every single one of them. The updates address 6 vulnerabilities, half of them rated critical. The rest of them are marked as important. 2 of the critical bugs are a deserialization of untrusted data and a security bypass, both leading to arbitrary code execution. A third one, rated with the same critical severity, is an SQL injection and could be exploited to leak sensitive information. The severity of the 3 other vulnerabilities, 2 stored cross-site scripting and a path traversal, have been assessed as important. A hacker can leverage them to obtain sensitive information that could serve to further an attack. Magento 2.3.4 is now available for download, and admins are recommended to install it in the immediate period. The priority rating for this task is a 2, which means that the risk of attacking this product is elevated and there are no known exploits at the moment. Magento stores are often hacked using known vulnerabilities to plant malicious JavaScript code that steals payment card details and sensitive customer information from loaded forms. This is also known as MagCard, and we've seen MagCard attacks, with just earlier this week reporting on 3 individuals who were arrested on suspicion of running MagCard attacks in Indonesia. These Magento bugs will be documented by Adobe, who completed the acquisition of the e-commerce platform in mid of 2018. The current Magento update addresses more than just security vulnerability. It also brings page builder enhancements and other great things that they are doing on the Magento platform. You can go to our website for a link to the full blog post on this thing, but make sure if you're using a Magento website that you update that immediately. That's it for our daily cyber briefing. Again, sorry we couldn't be on video and live on YouTube today. I did have to travel, and unfortunately my travel schedule did hinder our ability to deliver live. I will be coming live to you again tomorrow, Thursday, from the Mile High City. Shout out to Denver. That's it for today's daily cyber briefing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars. Tune in each and every single day for your daily cyber briefing. This Friday, we'll be joined by Dan DeClaus for our Friday wrap up, the CEO over at PlexTrack. And we've got so much stuff to talk about this week. I'm so psyched for it. Until then, folks, enjoy the rest of this week and the rest of your day, and stay cyber safe.